Hey guys, I just wanted to jump on real quick and show you guys a few of the upgrades I've done to my Genmitsu 4040 Pro Max CNC. I I ended up installing it on a mobile base. It's a mobile base used for miter saws, and I converted it to be used with the CNC. So it holds the CNC, it holds my rotary, it has a platform for to place your laptop, and all the other accessories. It has for the controllers and the power supply, and for power surge protectors. It really for everything. Um, I also I ended up cutting out a fence and installing that. I cut it on a laser. You can see that back here. It just allows me to register it perfectly each time. Um, the other thing I did was I installed a vertical fence for doing like joinery and dovetails and that kind of thing. And you can see that that's like right here. So I'll show you that in a second. And I don't know. I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks.
So here you can see I have the CNC mounted to a piece of 3/4 inch plywood, and that plywood is mounted to the folding miter saw stand. I then went ahead and cut that fence out on my laser, and I cut the holes to match the pattern on the spoil board. This is a height gauge block that I made. It allows you to consistently position the material in the vertical table for doing edge joinery, like dovetails and such. And this is the 4th axis rotary, just mounted there to get it out of the way when it's not in use, along with all the controllers and cabling. And just one more look at the whole thing. So here you can see how the whole pattern lines up with the spoil board, as well as having that little relief cut in the corner there, so that the material accurately registers against the fence each time. And here's a 3D printed accessory that holds the touch probe, and it just sits on top of the gantry like so. My daughter actually had this printed at the local library. That was prior to me getting my own 3D printer. I found this file online, but I really like it because it really helps to keep that probe out of the way. I wasn't really a huge fan of where they positioned the connector for the probe, but this offers a pretty reasonable solution. And the probe fits in there nicely along with the alligator clip, or you could clip it right on. So here you can see the material I nibbled away because it was preventing the Z carriage right there from moving over on the X-axis far enough to trigger the limit switch, so it wasn't homing properly. At some point I'll redesign it and print one that fits perfect. So here's another look at the vertical table upgrade that I did. I sized it for a 1x6, but you can go larger if you want to. And then I also cut this offset in the spoil board so that I could use this as a plug to fill the space. And here's another look at the gauge block that I used to set the height. It's just a few pieces of plywood. All you do is take your material, place it in there, use this gauge to find the correct height, and that would be the height that you have set as a 0 in your software. And then I reference it against the left side, once again for the convenience of locating it within the software. And then you can just clamp it in place. I just use these little quick clamps, and there's a few pieces of plywood mounted underneath that is actually creating the vertical table, and that's what I use as a clamping surface. I hope some of you guys found this helpful, and I will see you on the next one.